Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead and Bear. Every time I talk to the camera, Bear wants to come talk too, don't you? Yeah. So today's video is going to be my top 3 biggest deadly mistakes that I think new goat owners make. What is it, Bear? Are you going to let me talk to the camera today? No? You're not going to let me talk, are you? Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy, aren't you? Why don't you get off of me, though? Go on. Really? Not going to let me talk at all? Get off of me, Bear. It's a special kind of time of year. Oh. It's that time of year for us here on the farm. So, this is a collaboration video between 4 channels. We've got me doing the top 3 deadliest mistakes for new goat owners. Dutch is doing hair sheep, keeping it Dutch. Living Traditions Homestead is doing pigs. And Cog Hill Farm is talking about chickens. So it's all about the top deadly mistakes. So hopefully in this little collaboration we put together, a lot of you get a lot of good information. A lot of people that are new to this stuff get a lot of good information. And maybe you won't make some of those deadly mistakes that we've made on our farms. So we'll start with number 3. And we'll work our way down to number 1, huh, Bear? And we'll start off with talking about Bear, because Bear does a great job around here. My number 3 deadliest mistake I feel like a lot of new goat owners make: if you don't have your goats penned in a very small enclosure with a very tight, secure, fenced-in area, you need a livestock guardian. Maybe not one that's as big of a baby as Bear. So if you're like me and your goats roam over a large area on your property, sit, Bear. We'll get through this, I promise, buddy. If your goats roam over a large area on your property, you need a livestock guardian, because you just never know when a predator's gonna strike. You know, goats, oh gosh, I'm getting all dirty. Goats are a large animal, but some breeds are small. There's miniature goats, small goats, pygmy goats. And then your kids, a young kid that's, say, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, is a very small animal. Something even as small as a fox or a bobcat could easily take them down. And I run trail cameras on my property for deer hunting. We do a lot of deer hunting, so we got game cameras all over the place. And we're constantly getting pictures of things like bobcats and coyotes and even other dogs, just feral wild dogs. We live in the country and people have a bad habit about taking their dogs out in the country and just kicking them out and saying, "Pen for yourself." Really, dude? This makes it difficult. So I have Bear around, and we've got another Great Pyrenees. She's an older dog. She doesn't really stay with the goats anymore, and that was why we got Bear to kind of take over for her. But we've got coyotes that roam our property, and we turn our goats out. They roam all over our 110 acres. So without a dog like Bear around, I really feel like we would probably lose quite a bit of our kid crop to predators. And I know that's a common problem for a lot of people. So everybody say, good job, Bear. You do good work, Bear. Yes, you do. You're a good livestock guard dog. You know that, Bear? Everybody just loves you. I think they like you more than they do me sometimes. So number 2, the second most common fatal error I believe new goat owners make has to do with internal parasites or worms. Goats, certain goat breeds, especially in the meat world, boar goats, are very susceptible to internal parasites. So you're constantly having to worm. Look at him. Look at this guy. Isn't he proud of himself? Aren't you? You're a good boy. Internal parasites are a huge problem. So there's several different kinds of worms. and you've got to really learn the signs to look for, learn how to read your goats so you can tell when you've got a worm issue and you need to stay, depending on the breed, like I said, you need to stay on a good rotation and worm your goats on a regular basis. I've switched to Kikos. Kiko goats are a very parasite resistant breed. I rarely have to worm my goats. I've got a few that are still Boer cross that need wormed every once in a while, but the Kiko is a very strong breed. They were a feral goat in New Zealand, so they learned to survive on their own without help from people and guys like Bear here. So they're a very great breed that are very parasite resistant. But when I started off with goats, I had pygmy goats and then switched to Boers. And when I had Boer goats, I was constantly having issues with worms. And if left unchecked, they can be very fatal. Worms will kill you guys, won't they? So that's number 2, internal parasites. So that leaves number 1, my true belief that the most common deadly error that a lot of people make when they get into goats has nothing to do with anything except themselves and their own herd selection. So a lot of people, when they start raising goats and then they kid out, they'll have bottle babies here and there. They'll have a mama that won't take their babies or have some issues, or one that has a hard time having labor, going through labor, and they end up keeping kids out of that doe and then rebreeding those kids. And so I think the number 1 mistake people make has to do with proper doe selection. And I know for me personally, when I had Boer goats, I had a lot of does that may have twins or triplets and end up losing 1 or 2 of their babies. But I really liked the way they looked, or they were just a really good looking, really strong built goat, but I wasn't keeping the right does for a good herd management practice. So I really believe that if you want to have a good strong herd, you've got to select those does that are really good mamas, that kid well on their own, that don't struggle with parasites, that don't have hoof problems. It's not all about how they look. I mean, I've got, Bear, easy with the camera. I've got some pretty goats. I mean, that right there is a very, very pretty doe. But that can't be your main reason for keeping a doe, is just the way she looks, just how pretty she is. Bear, would you like to have the camera for a while? Just for you. Whoop. You already lost it. Knocked it over. There you go. It's just for you, Bear. Look, right there's the camera. Talk to it. So, whoo, he got some bad breath. So doe selection, keeping back the right does to improve your herd, to me, is the probably most important thing that people have to learn if they're going to be breeding and keeping their own kids and rebreeding and growing their herd. If you're just going to go out and buy good stock from another producer, that's one thing. But if you're going to start breeding your own and then keeping does back, you're going to have to keep good records of first when they were bred, when they kidded, how many kids they had, how many kids survived, how well they nursed them, how well they produced milk, all that stuff. Keep good records of your does. Keep track of what they're doing, because I promise, if you get more than 2 or 3, you'll forget. You'll forget how much milk one produced, or did she have twins or triplets? You know, if you got a doe that had a single baby 2 years in a row, you might think about culling her. Or if she had triplets and she was only able to raise one of them, you might think about culling her, or possibly not even keeping her offspring, just selling those and selecting the strongest, best ones to rebreed. So, anyways, there you have it, my top 3 deadliest mistakes I believe that new goat owners make. First off, not having that livestock guard dog that's always on duty, always out there watching your herd. Second, internal parasites. Those worms will kill your goats in a hurry. They'll knock them dead. They'll get sick and just not recover on you all the time. And then the number 1 deadly mistake that I think new goat owners make is not selecting the right does to keep back for their herd. It's all about herd improvement, herd management. Keep making your herd stronger, bigger, better, faster, more awesomeness. Anyways, guys, like I said, this is a collaboration. Be sure to go check out all the other channels. I'll leave cards to their videos and links in the description box to them. Keeping It Dutch, Living Traditions Homestead, and Cog Hill Farm. Go learn about all the different livestock. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. And as always, Bear and I him and I, right here, Bear and I, will see you on the next video. Oh, Bear, ain't that right? You're such a good boy. Yes, you are.